This is the 2027 BMW X100. At least, the vision of what BMW could create if it pushed its SUV philosophy to the absolute limit. And if BMW ever builds something like this, it could completely change our expectations of what a luxury SUV is supposed to be. So today, we're taking a detailed look at this futuristic BMW X100 concept, its exterior design, interior technology, performance potential, intelligent systems, luxury features, and why this could be one of the most insane BMW SUV ideas imaginable. Let's get started. The design. From the first glance, the BMW X100 looks dramatically different from today's BMW SUVs. The proportions are unmistakably BMW, but the execution is far more futuristic. The body is extremely wide and planted, with a low roofline, muscular shoulders, short overhangs, and enormous wheels that give the vehicle an almost supercar-like stance. At the front, the traditional BMW kidney grille could be completely reimagined. Instead of a conventional grille designed primarily around airflow, the X100 could feature a massive illuminated kidney-shaped panel. It would function as a visual signature rather than simply an opening in the bodywork. Surrounding it are ultra-thin LED headlights with an aggressive, three-dimensional design. Imagine approaching the X100 at night and watching its lighting system activate automatically. Individual light elements could illuminate sequentially, creating a dramatic welcome animation before the driver even opens the door. The hood would be long, sculpted, and extremely clean. Rather than covering a traditional engine compartment, a futuristic electric X100 could use the space for additional storage, electronic components, or simply a beautifully finished technical compartment. Moving toward the side, the design becomes even more dramatic. The door handles could sit completely flush with the body. The windows would have a frameless appearance, while the side mirrors could potentially be replaced or supplemented by compact digital camera systems where regulations allow. And then there are the wheels. Huge aerodynamic alloy wheels could combine performance styling with efficiency-focused engineering. Behind them, massive performance brakes would hint at the X100's potential power. But the most impressive element could be the rear. The roof would flow smoothly toward a wide rear shoulder, creating a coupe-like silhouette without sacrificing the commanding presence of an SUV. At the back, an ultra-thin LED light bar could stretch across the entire width. The BMW roundel would sit proudly in the center, while the lower bumper would remain incredibly clean. There could be no unnecessary visual clutter, just technology, precision, and unmistakable BMW character. An electric future. Now let's talk about what could be underneath the X100. If BMW wanted the X100 to represent the future, an advanced electric architecture would make the most sense. Instead of simply increasing battery size, BMW could focus on improving the entire electric system. Higher voltage architecture could allow faster charging, better efficiency, and improved power delivery. A large battery pack positioned low in the chassis would also give the X100 a very low center of gravity for an SUV. That means improved cornering stability, sharper steering response, and a more connected driving experience. And this is where things become interesting. Imagine a dual-motor or even tri-motor configuration producing enormous instantaneous torque. One motor could power the front axle while another drives the rear. Advanced software could continuously distribute torque between the wheels depending on road conditions and driver input. The result? An SUV that doesn't feel like a giant vehicle. Instead, it could accelerate with the urgency of a performance sedan. A hypothetical high-performance X100 could potentially target supercar-like acceleration, while still providing the practicality of a large luxury SUV. And because electric motors deliver torque almost instantly, the experience could be completely different from a traditional gasoline-powered BMW. No waiting for the engine to build power. No dramatic gear changes. Just instant acceleration. Press the accelerator, and the X100 could launch forward with breathtaking force. Range and charging. Of course, performance isn't everything. Luxury electric SUVs need range. A futuristic X100 could therefore use a highly energy-dense battery pack combined with advanced aerodynamic optimization. The smooth bodywork, active aerodynamic elements, efficient wheels, and intelligent thermal management could all work together to maximize driving range. And when the battery finally needs charging, ultra-fast charging technology could dramatically reduce waiting times. Imagine stopping during a long journey, plugging in, grabbing a coffee, and returning to a vehicle that has recovered a substantial amount of usable range. That is the kind of experience that could make electric SUVs genuinely effortless. The interior. But the biggest transformation could happen inside. Open the doors of the BMW X100, and the cabin could feel completely different from today's BMW interiors. The traditional dashboard concept could almost disappear. Instead, the driver could face a wide, curved digital display stretching across much of the cockpit. But unlike older systems, this screen wouldn't simply show information. It could become the central interface for the entire vehicle. Navigation, vehicle settings, entertainment, climate control, charging information, and intelligent driving features could all be integrated into one seamless environment. BMW could also introduce an advanced head-up display that projects important information directly into the driver's field of vision. Imagine seeing navigation arrows appear naturally on the road ahead. Imagine receiving a warning about a vehicle entering your blind spot without needing to look down at a screen. The technology would work quietly in the background. Artificial intelligence. And then there's artificial intelligence. A futuristic X100 could feature an AI-powered personal assistant capable of learning the driver's habits. Instead of simply responding to commands, it could anticipate what the driver needs. It could recognize regular destinations, preferred cabin temperatures, favorite charging locations, and driving preferences. For example, if you normally leave home at 7 in the morning, the X100 could automatically prepare the cabin before you enter. On a cold day, it could warm the interior. On a hot day, it could cool the seats and cabin. If the battery is low, it could suggest a charging stop along your route. And if traffic suddenly becomes heavy, the navigation system could automatically calculate an alternative route. The goal wouldn't simply be to make the vehicle smarter. It would be to make the vehicle feel like it understands you. Luxury. Of course, this is still a BMW flagship concept. So luxury would be everywhere. Imagine premium leather or advanced sustainable materials covering the seats, dashboard, and door panels. Ambient lighting could run through the cabin like architectural illumination. The seats could feature advanced ventilation, heating, massage functions, and individually adjustable support. Rear passengers could receive their own entertainment displays. The rear seats could potentially recline dramatically, turning the second row into a private lounge. And the panoramic glass roof could transform the entire cabin into a bright, open environment during the day. At night, the interior lighting could create a completely different atmosphere. Soft illumination, minimal reflections, a futuristic digital environment, almost like entering a private lounge on wheels. Driving technology. But the X100 wouldn't just be about luxury. It could also become one of BMW's smartest vehicles ever imagined. Advanced sensors and cameras could constantly monitor the environment around the vehicle. High-definition mapping, artificial intelligence, and driver assistance systems could work together to reduce driver workload. On highways, the vehicle could potentially handle many repetitive driving tasks while keeping the driver engaged and ready to take control. The steering wheel itself could also become more advanced. Instead of traditional controls everywhere, BMW could integrate intelligent touch surfaces, haptic feedback, and configurable controls. The vehicle would constantly evolve through software updates. That means your X100 could potentially gain new features years after you purchased it. Just like a smartphone, the car wouldn't necessarily remain frozen in time. The BMW experience. And that's perhaps the most exciting part of this entire concept. The X100 wouldn't simply be another BMW SUV. It could represent BMW's attempt to redefine what the luxury SUV means in the electric era. Imagine a vehicle that combines the commanding position of an SUV, the acceleration of a performance car, the comfort of a luxury limousine, and the intelligence of a high-end digital device. That's an extremely difficult combination. But that's exactly why the X100 concept is so fascinating. Final thoughts. So, is the 2027 BMW X100 real? At this point, the X100 name should be treated as a futuristic concept rather than a confirmed production BMW. But the technologies imagined here aren't difficult to understand. Electric performance is advancing. Battery technology is improving. Artificial intelligence is entering vehicles. Cabins are becoming increasingly digital. And luxury manufacturers are pushing harder than ever to create vehicles that don't simply transport people, but create an entire experience around them. If BMW combined those trends into an ultra-premium flagship SUV, the result could look something like this. The 2027 BMW X100 represents a fascinating vision of where the BMW SUV family could eventually go. A vehicle with extreme performance, a completely digital environment, next-generation electric technology, intelligent assistance, and a design created to turn heads from every angle. The future of luxury SUVs isn't just about being bigger, faster, or more expensive. It's about becoming smarter, more efficient, more personalized, and more exciting to drive. And if BMW ever decides to build an SUV that truly pushes those boundaries, the X100 could be absolutely insane. What do you think? Would you choose a futuristic electric BMW X100 over a traditional high-performance BMW SUV? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this look into the future of BMW, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next generation of luxury cars is going to be unlike anything we've seen before. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.